Okay, up we are. Monday morning, 8 o'clock. All set. Morning, gang. Good morning, good morning. Chilly morning in Tokyo today, but very nice. Bit overcast, but pleasant. Very, very pleasant. Until it isn't. Oh, what am I doing? I was talking to Kira-chan. Sorry, Kira-san's here today. We were chatting together. So. Mask on for a reason, yeah, because Kira-san was here. I forgot. Paper is not out, and there are no yellow dots on the fridge until next Saturday. Anybody who's working still is working at home this week. So no yellow dots, no paper out. Good morning, good morning. Okay, looks like just good morning's happening here. No rain. Let me just get started here, do a bit of carving, then check in with you guys in a few minutes. Today's plan is this, and then we have a show and tell today. And if you remind me about it maybe a bit earlier, we normally stop around 9:15 or so to do 15 minutes. We could maybe do a bit more on this one today. So we'll see how it goes. If you jog me a bit earlier, we'll see how it goes. Looking good. We have a nice sharp knife here. Away we go. Okay, so how are we doing here? Morning, gang. So, God, for most of you guys, it's what? It's Sunday evening, right? End of your weekend. So, for us, of course, it's the other way around. It's the start of our week. Not that there's much of a pattern to our weeks anymore here. You know, with the shop being closed, we don't have any specific calendar events going on. You know, the calendar that drives my life, that drives my work, is what we call here the DOSA calendar. As part of our management software system, there's a calendar in the manager page which the printers have access to. They log in with their password and stuff. And they let me know through that calendar when they want their next print job. I mean, all the printers right now are busy right now doing work, but I know roughly when they'll be finished, but I don't know exactly when they'll be finished. You know, how much time they spend on it, how many colors they wear in each job, stuff like this. So I really can't tell, because they're not working in the building here. I don't have access to that. I don't see how they're going through each job. I send them the blocks on the paper, and then I just sit back and wait. But if they just waited, if they just sent back their finished job and said, okay, give me another one, it doesn't work like that, because I need lead time. So for each job that our printers do, I have to select and prepare and size the paper. We size the paper for each job specifically. Back in the bad old days, when I hired out a craftsman to do the sizing, we would do it batches of a few hundred. I'd get a batch of 500 sheets from Iwanis on the paper maker, and instead of being shipped to me, it would be shipped to the sizing craftsman. And he would then just size the whole batch with a generically average level of sizing, and then we would just cut the paper up and use it. But now that we're doing sizing ourselves, we do it per each group. So each print job now gets the paper sized for it to match that job. Sometimes if it's a shinhanga type print with lots of colors, it needs a stronger size than if it's a simple ukiyo type print. So the paper we get from the paper maker just sits here raw, waiting to be sized. So because it takes time, I have to get some lead time. So the printers will go to our online calendar when they think they can see the end of their job. Today's Monday, so maybe Kawai-san's doing a job. He thinks I'll probably be finished Thursday. So he'll go to the calendar and he'll put a mark on the online calendar telling me that he's finished probably Thursday. He wants new paper for Friday. So I see this. I check the calendar. I get notifications when it's changed. I check the calendar. I have to make sure I get paper sized, choose blocks, arrange for our Ome warehouse to ship the blocks to him. And I have to do this for all of our printers, and there's 9 of them now. There's 9 people, so I have to follow this calendar, do the sizing, arrange for the blocks to be shipped, decide which prints we're going to reprint, which ones we let go out of print, and how many copies we need, stuff like this. And Cameron coordinates this with me. He's got our subscription software, and he can ask the software to tell him, at the current level of subscribers, people are partway through the set, what will be our stock requirements for the next time period. And his software spits out for him, we're getting low, we need more of Wolf Goddess by March, or something like that. So I can see that prediction, I see what the printer's timetable looks like, I match it all up and send them jobs to match. So that's the calendar that drives my life, not the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday calendar, whatever. That's the Oshibori guy. He was here at 7:30. When I was down here getting set up at 7:30, he came already once. I think we're on a double shift here. The Oshibori guys are coming in 2 trucks. 2 different salesmen have stuff in this route, I think. At least this isn't the guy that keeps his motor running. Bunch of questions I'm not catching here. Got a link. What's this? What's this? What's this? Have I ever had to replace my sharpening stone? Yes, of course, over the years. They get bowed, they wear away. A sharpening stone, by definition, the stone gets, worn away. So I have no idea how many, dozens, dozens of stones over the years. The steel one is going well, but it actually is now. You can feel the difference on the steel stone. When I work in the corner here, it's stronger grit than in the middle. So these two, I guess, I am learning. These two wear out. Sharpening stones are consumable items. Yes, absolutely. Next question, do subscriptions sell out every year? No, but for the past 2 years they have. They have sold out in December, early January for the complete year. I have no idea what will happen next year. I don't know. When we get into late November or so, we will send a message to the current subscribers asking if they want to re-up for next year. So current subscribers will get first choice at it. And once a couple of weeks have gone by, it'll be around the early December, I guess. I'm not sure exactly. Middle of December. It will open for general subscriptions. But I have no idea. This year may or may not. We still haven't set the price. I can't set the price. Oh, also there's big trouble coming. Big trouble coming on the postage. Yeah, I hadn't planned to talk about this, but whatever, it will have to be talked about. It would be Thursday last week or Friday last week. We got an update from the post office, the Japan post office. The negotiations that have been going on with the Universal Postal Union have apparently, I don't know if they're finished, but they're apparently done. There's been an adjustment, or there will be an adjustment from next April for all the outbound postage rates from Japan. This has nothing to do with Corona, and this is assuming that the postage system does come back to life. At the moment, lots of countries are stopped. But the change in the rates has nothing to do with Corona. And it goes back, the reason for this goes back to the post-war period. There's a thing called the Universal Postal Union, UPU, and it's the international organization that sets postage rates internationally. I know it's kind of an interesting system. When I go to my post office here and send a package to you, I give all the money to my local post office here in Japan. They carry the package to the airport, throw it on an airplane for, say, America, and the American then says, "What's this?" and they deliver it. But they didn't get paid because I paid the Japanese post office, not the American post office. Now you can guess how it works. There's a back and forth system. They weigh up 50 tons went that way, 50 tons went this way, let's call it square, whatever. I don't know how they do it. But they balance these things on weight or count or whatever. And sometimes one country sends more to another country and they have to make cash payments to pay for the delivery. Anyway, long story short, the rates ideally are set so that to send from A to B and to send from B to A would cost the same thing. But with currency fluctuations and different countries having different standards of living, it's not so simple. But anyway, so that's what the UPU is for. And they've been working like this for 100 years, more than 100 years at this. Jump ahead, the post-war period came along and the Asian economies, Japan, China, Korea, were struggling. And the West made some kind of deal. What they would do is they would keep postage rates from Asia to the rest of the world artificially low to try and help these countries, export their stuff and get back on their feet. And it turns out that those rates have been low for ever since around when I was born. They've been stunningly low. So what's the problem been? To send a package from Japan to America, our subscription prints, they go for about $2.50. It's much more expensive to send the other way. So finally, after years and years of negotiations, and I guess this has partly come from the American government being very strong about this sort of stuff currently, whatever we like to think badly about the current orange occupant of the White House, he's done some stuff right, or his people have done some stuff right. And this imbalance that's been in place for a generation has now been corrected. So Asian countries and Asian businesses are no longer getting a free ride sending stuff in to America and to the rest of the West. So long story short, our postage rates for our subscription prints, which have been artificially low, way below market value for decades, are going up April 1st. And in some cases, they are rising by a factor of 5. We've been sending some of our subscription prints for $2.50, and some of the new rates for the same size prints are $14. And it sounds terrible. I'm supposed to tear my hair out about it, and the customers are supposed to complain. But actually, this is not an awful thing. It's simply an adjustment that should have been made years ago, slowly, bit by bit by bit. But we're now looking at 35 years of not adjustments, all happening in one go. So those of you who are subscribing to our prints, nothing's changing right now. This is all changing as of next April. We don't have any hard numbers on it yet. We've got to weigh our packages. We're going to have to think about maybe getting smaller, lightweight packaging. We don't know. We're going to work on this to try and get these things. But starting next April, all of our shopping for people overseas who are buying stuff from us, whether single prints or subscriptions, it's all going to be much more expensive to ship. And of course, you're probably already suggesting this. We are really thinking about a drop-off. Like at the moment, we're shipping to Jed for America, and he's passing it on for us. And it may be that we will continue that sort of thing. Get an American agent to handle all our stuff. We send it by FedEx in one big lump, and then locally. This isn't letters, actually. Letters, apparently, airmail and letters are not affected by this. This is stuff, packages, the kind of package that the kind of service that they call small packet. Airmail small packet is the main one that is affected here. And it's really been bad for some American businesses. An American company that is making some generic type product, an order they get from their own town, they ship it $4 whatever across their own town. That customer can order the similar thing on Amazon from China, and it only costs like $1 or $1.50 from China. So American businesses are competing in their own town with Chinese and Asian suppliers that can ship into America at these bargain basement rates. So this is long overdue. This is not a bad thing. It's going to hurt us here, and it's going to hurt our customers. But it's we've had artificially low rates. I've been enjoying this myself. I've been taking the benefit from this. The sort of the sad part about it from our point of view is that we are not part of that thing. Like we're not an Asian supplier that is taking business from local suppliers in those countries. If you're an Asian widget supplier, you've been undercutting American widget suppliers with this artificially low shipping prices. But we are not really a widget supplier. We're not hurting local competition, Or maybe we are. Karen, you're there. Is our business hurting yours? We're crushing you with our competition? So I don't know. Who knows? I don't see any questions, so we're okay. Ballpark price for the prints. The ballpark price for the prints is to stay the same as this year. It's a plus and a minus, a plus and a minus. At the moment, we're starting our spreadsheet just simply by cloning this year's spreadsheet, putting it in place, and working from there. And there's factors working both up and both down for next year's price to be the same or whatever. One is the paper size. The paper it's a larger print than last year. So the paper size, our physical costs for blocks and paper, are more than last year. So that would be some indication for putting price up. But paper isn't all that big a part of the cost of a print. This sheet of paper for this would cost, I don't know, $1 or something, or $1.20 or somewhere around there. It's not a massive part of the print cost. Working in the other direction, the number of colors we're going to use on each one of these prints this year is going to be down. We've done with Jed, we've done Shin Hanga type prints, which have lots of colors, lots of overlays. And this one, there's going to be fewer overlays. So the printing time per sheet will be down. So that'll be Did I forget something today? Garbage day? What is it? Oh, I know. Yeah. It's the big broken glasses and pieces. Garbage today. So. Then because the prints are physically bigger, the packaging is going to be, we need different kinds of packaging. It's heavier and more, the prints are easier to bend, so we need a bit heavier, denser packaging. So those costs will be slightly increased. But overall, we're not seeing any dramatic, massive increase or decrease in our costs of production for this next year. So we're thinking probably keep the price the same as it is this year. But now, with these last couple of days, we now have a problem where the postage charges are going to be going up. And from the customer's point of view, whether the money they're giving stays in my pocket or goes to the post office, they don't care. It's still the price of the print. So once we get this sorted out, given the fact that the postage is going to be increasing, almost certainly we ourselves will not be able to increase the price. Shouldn't be even thinking about increasing the price. So that's the current thinking anyway. There is another factor. There's another plus-minus factor on it. This next series for 2021, we don't pay royalties. For the past 2 years, and for the past 7 or 8 years, we've been paying royalties to Jed for subscription prints. Of course, as the designer, he gets a good chunk of it. And this next year's series, Koryusai, we don't have to pay him. But on the opposite side to that, what we do have to do is we do have to draw the thing. We have to prepare the hanshita. We've been paying Jed royalties, but he does the drawing and preparation for carving. There's no Jed anymore, so we ourselves have to do the drawing and preparation for carving. I showed you that hawk print. I spent days and days and days and days on my iPad, tracing the lines and getting it ready. So that's another new cost. But the postage, I don't know, So we're looking at, like this year it was $50 for the prints, and the postage, depending on the scale of postage, was like $3 or $3.50, something like that. But next year now, if we stay at $50 for the subscription, but the postage is now going to be something like $14 or $15. And then of course, on top of that, if you're in Europe, then you've got to pay import duty on these things. Americans don't do that. Their stuff is duty-free coming in. But most European countries, there's a duty and or a sales tax on these prints, which can be 15 or 20%. So a $50 print with $14 for postage, and then 20% duty on top of that, you're looking at $80 for a subscription. So we are, I don't know. Our American friends actually don't know how lucky they are in that respect. You know, almost every other country in the world charges individuals very high rates for importing stuff. The post office stops it, sends you a little postcard and says, "Hi, come on down and make a little donation." And you're looking at 12 to 15 to 18 to 20%, depending on the country. And America doesn't do that at all. There's no sales tax in almost anywhere on stuff that Americans import for their own use. So the stories are coming, sure. People that know. It's not that there's no Jed anymore. Next year's series, we're doing a reproduction series. Jed and I talked about this 6 months ago. He's sort of getting a year off from this work. He's got 4 kids now. He's focusing some different job this next coming year. So Jed hasn't been fired, and we're not finished. But this next year is a non-Jed series. This next year, we're not paying quota, you say? No, not at all. He's been dead for 250 years, so whatever. So people are saying we maybe have to send the packages a few at a time, batch them. Another idea, like I said, what we're doing with Jed at the moment, we're using Jed as a drop-off. So we batch American stuff because the post office is closed. We're sending it over in a batch into the country and distributing from there. And we investigated that for Germany and the EU about 6 months ago. One of our employees who was working here lives in Germany now. And there's a real problem that way. What we do with Jed America, we put 100 little small packages with their own invoices in a big box. Then we send it in one box over to Jed. But the rule for FedEx is one box must be one invoice. You can't have 100 little invoices for one box. So we invoice Jed for the whole value of the shipment at retail. He then opens it and just sends them out to the customers. So we're actually selling to the customers, but there's a show invoice that goes for the same amount over to Jed. America doesn't care about this because they're really loose with these things. But Germany, and we checked, to send a similar box to Germany, no go. They are really, really strict. We cannot do one invoice, one box. It's got to be every single item invoiced, and the German drop-off person has to be buying these. And you're not allowed to buy them at one price and sell them at the same price, which is what we're doing. Our agent in Germany would get a $100 print in, it goes out to the customer for $100. No, this is money laundering in their eyes. So we can't do that. So Germany doesn't allow us to do that same system that we've done for Jed. Batch the prints all together. So what it needs is we have to have an actual business in Germany, or somebody has to set up a business that buys them from us wholesale and sells them retail to the customers. And then that business has to pay taxes and do this and register the license and all that kind of stuff. And it just became an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. So we're facing some difficulties here coming up to this new project this year. And the governments over there, they just don't care. That's what the goods are. The people need to pay their taxes. That's tough. You're in the market. Bingo. So our era of cheap and easy, small, cheap print subscriptions is facing some headwinds this year. Just at the same time when we're facing another headwind with the shop being closed. So I don't know. among the ideas that were on the table here, I say are on the table. There's ideas that I personally will not consider, but one idea that is being discussed here is, instead of, Dave's philosophy has been, make prints as inexpensively as we can, high quality as we can, but inexpensive, and send them out in a sort of a mass market item. It's not mass market like soap, but a mass market in the woodblock print thing. Don't try and make them too expensive. Let people enjoy these beautiful objects at a reasonable price. But the world is fighting us on this. And another idea would be, instead of making 5,000 prints a year for everybody to purchase at inexpensive prices, make only 100 or so prints a year, and they're $10,000 each. And it's a different market. And that way, shipping is no problem, insurance is no problem, nothing, because people are paying money they don't care about. I'm not threatening this. I don't intend to do this, but that is another alternate business model. If we are priced out of the common, if we're priced out of the prints as a commodity, daily commodity market, then I don't know. I really, 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 really do not want to take that route. The prints are all X $1,000 each. They go by FedEx, whatever. I really, really, really don't want to do that. I'm not going to, of course, but whatever. This is going nicely today. The knife has got a good edge on it, Sometimes it's funny too, the actual sharpening. People ask, how often do you sharpen and stuff like this. It comes back all the time over there. There's a funny thing about these knives is every now and then you get an edge on it that seems to last forever. Sometimes you'll sharpen and like 5 minutes later it's, oh my God, here we go again. I got to sharpen this again. And sometimes it just keeps on trucking. And this one seems to be one of those times where this edge just stays sharp and stays sharp. And part of it maybe is because what I'm cutting mostly here is sort of straight lines or lightly curved lines. I'm not going around a bunch of corners here. And it's when you go around corners that the edge of that thing will get chipped and abraded. So that's probably part of it here. But sometimes it just seems like magic. It just goes on and rolls on and rolls on and rolls on. Until it doesn't. So, can you determine an average shipping rate that will cover the range to all your buyers? This is interesting. That's what we've done up to now, actually. We've set, normal airmail, small packet, EMS, whatever, and we haven't even changed it by country. It is different. When we send to America or Argentina or England or whatever, there's zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, I think has been. So, but we've averaged it out. But, and this is interesting, part of this new rates that are coming next year in April, there's a new group. The post office has announced the creation of a new zone. This has been zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. There's now a new zone, zone 4, which is just the US. And those rates are way more than double anybody else. So the American, whoever it is, the Commerce Department, or whoever's done the negotiating here, those guys have played hardball. Clearly, way more than the people from the EU or places like this. So it's now zone 1, blah, 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 zone 2, EU, Canada, blah, 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 zone 3, South America, blah, 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 zone 4, US, double everything else. So starting with our website, once these things come into play, all of our shopping website and the subscription website will have 2 shopping rates. One for everybody on the planet except US. And the US ones are going to be double everybody else. Nothing to do with me. That's the way those negotiations came down. Clearly, a lot of hardball from the American side. Lots and lots of hardball. And yes, somebody's saying USPS has been losing money. So again, I'm not arguing against this. I'm not saying, oh my God, they're hurting us. This is such a bad thing. This is getting back to normal, I think. But why America should be double England or Germany or Canada, I don't know. April 1st is the date all those rates come in, April 1st. So it's funny for us too, when we announce our new subscription in November or December, we will have to put a big asterisk on it. We will have to make sure people know. Here's the subscription price and the shipping price, but big asterisk, starting April, the postage rates will be going up. So we're going to have to figure this out before the end of the year. It's not fair to have people start a subscription where the postage is $3 and then change it in April to $15. Of course, we can't do that. So we will have to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So, how are we doing here? 8:47. My God, it's zipping along. Crow, crow, crow. Did we get a crow on camera there? I didn't see. I don't know. There was some brutal crow footage. Okay, I didn't see. Okay, sorry. There's garbage there. I don't think it's a dead bird. I haven't seen it. I didn't notice. There are 4 stone seats there. The sidewalk widens out a bit there, and it's a place where people can sit. And yesterday was Sunday afternoon, millions of walkers. So maybe somebody left some crap there, and it's still early in the morning. I will after the stream, I will clean up in front of my shop. I probably won't get that far down. Okay, I didn't see it, so I'll keep quiet, but whatever. Is that a dead bird? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Did somebody clip it then? Whatever. Well, I'll see it later in any case. So. If we can get a bit more. Okay, and thinking forward here, next half hour, so we do have a show and tell today here. We've got a couple of different things to show you. Those of you who were waiting for the stream to start this morning, a few minutes before 8 o'clock, I posted an image into the chat. I guess it's gone, so I should post it again. I'll post it again now in advance of the show and tell because of a couple of things. I'm carving here right now, and you can see my finger here when I'm carving. So you can see the sort of scale of what we're doing. Somebody did it. Thomas, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the image that's posted there, and this is scaled correctly. I didn't know what coin to use. I used the US dime. I guess most of the people watching here are from the US. I don't have a collection of whatever. I just copied it. So the scale in that image, we're going to show the prints on the show and tell this morning here, of course, but just so you get an idea of what scale we are talking about here. I think I'm doing pretty well here. I'm carving these nice thin lines, but what is possible is way, way more, stunningly more detailed than what I'm doing here, you know. that book, that collection of prints. It came in yesterday morning. It was an early delivery yesterday morning. And that's going to be a world record for me. It's a set of 55 prints. It came in yesterday morning, and I looked at it for a few minutes and thought, I have got to get this into the collection, like right now. And there's two voices, two birdies, and one bird says, Dave, it's Sunday morning. It's a nice day. You were going to go and spend the day in Ueno Park. You were going to get a Cuban sandwich from that restaurant that you found out about. Take the sandwich into Ueno Park and sit and relax for a while. The other shoulder says, but look at these prints. Get these photographed and scanned and get them in the collection. Dave, Ueno Park is waiting. It's a beautiful sunny day. Just get going. And as you can see the result, I spent the whole day in Photoshop. I don't know, idiots. And when you're doing a bunch of 50 prints or so in Photoshop, there's a bunch of automated actions you can do, of course. You know, I'm not so bad at that. I'm not a Photoshop guru, but I can get my way around in there, you know. But with that one, there's so much of that that can't be automated. You know, the prints aren't actually all each square. The white balance is okay. That can be automated for the batch of them, but there's so many things that just deviate and differ from one print to the next. The cropping and stuff, it's just not something you can do automatically. So I automated as much as I could, but and I suppose what I really I shouldn't be doing that work myself. I should be outsourcing it, but just I want to get these things just right, the way I want each one to look, and I don't know. But I got it done. Got it done. I need a jig. I built a jig. I did. I built a jig yesterday. I got the tripod set up. Because this batch of prints were all the same sort of quote unquote the same size. I built a jig. I got the light angle ready. In fact, we've got the jig. I can change the angle, change the angle, change the angle. It took me about a half an hour to get the, we have a setup for it, and I have a side light. But if you have the side light sometimes too raking, it makes the paper look nice. It makes the embossing look nice. But then it disturbs. The paper becomes too noisy, and you can't see the lines of the image. If you shoot it with a light flat, you can't see the paper texture at all. So it's for each different batch of prints with each different kinds of paper, you've got to adjust the angle of the jig out and back and out, and then move the camera so that it's shooting down at as close to a 90 degree as possible. and then try and get out and zoom in, so we're using the center of the lens so there's not so much lens distortion. So John, I'm on it. We're trying to do this quite well. So scanner, no scanning. No scanning. Do we use the water for light diffusing? It's right here. There's the water is right in front of me as we speak right now. The light is being diffused by the globe of water. I'll zoom out. It's right here. We have an array of lights. We have the stand where we do the photography, and we have an array of lights. We use 3 or 4. We have 2 different systems, a vertical system with 4 lights on top, and a horizontal system with 3 lights, 3 spotlights, 6 meters away. It's a long, complicated system. Anyway, let me do a bit more carving. We're going to look at some prints about 10, 15 minutes now. We'll look at the prints, but let me get some more work done here. So it's the photography itself actually was fast. Once I got the jig set up, and it's just in there, I stand beside it, I flip them in. We're using a tethered camera with a remote button. So I stand by the jig, I got the book of prints there, put each one, I can see the computer screen. Once it's all lined up, looks okay, the autofocus runs on it, and I just hit the button, bang, it goes, and I move to the next one. So we're using a tethered camera, we're saving directly to the hard drive, we're not even using the camera card, and I'm shooting raw. So the camera itself, once it's set up, it's just brainless, it just goes through. So we're not really futzing with the camera at all. And shooting raw, we're looking at 36 megabytes for each image, the particular kind of lens saving combination we have. And I do a gray card. We've got a, what do you call it? I forget the name for the photographers use. It's a card, a grayscale, 18% grayscale card, which we shoot first. I shoot first under the same light. And then halfway through the deck, I bring it back in and do it again. Make sure we're okay with this. So we do a sample with one print to get it sort of the light set up the way I want it. Then once it's decided, I shoot the gray card, and then don't touch the camera settings, just put the prints in place one by one by one. So the white balance is then a batch affair. So the white balancing on the whole batch of 50 prints is done with one command. So the camera part is actually easy. It's then, after the half an hour of shooting is over, it's then the rest of the day in Photoshop. And we're storing the images at a much higher resolution than they are on the net there. The pictures you're going to see when we switch to show and tell, they're 2400 pixels wide. That's sort of enough for a really, really nice resolution for a small postcard print like this. But we're storing it at about 5,000 pixels. So we've got easily double the resolution that you see on that website there. Yeah, John, you got 3 meters, that's enough for a woodblock print. The difference, when you're 3 meters away, the difference in luminosity between the top and the bottom of the print is pretty much undetectable. we've also John's talking about shooting against a white background. We have a problem here. The washi paper that the prints are made on, it's not transparent, but it's translucent. And if you take a woodblock print and put it on something and then shoot it, the color of that something affects it. If it was a piece of black paper, the whole print will be toned darker than if it was a piece of white paper. So we put the print on that same 18% gray as a kind of a averaging things out. But we can change things. If we put the print on if we want the thing to have a more toned mood, we can put it on a piece of browner paper or something, because they're translucent to some extent. It depends on the prints. Some modern woodblock prints are very, very thick paper. You can put them on anything and it wouldn't make any difference. But the prints we're going to look at today, some of them are really quite thin. So it makes a difference what you use for the background paper. Nice, nice, nice. This is such pleasant work, you know, these curves. It's just such pleasant work. If it was all like this, this is the kind of stuff you can do all day, just enjoying it, and you carve a bit more, carve a bit more, carve a bit more, and you look up and it's getting dark outside, and you think, what's going on? That's what it used to be like for me when I was working alone, you know, over and over, just exactly like that. Just carve away and realize, geez, I'm getting hungry, you know, is it lunchtime yet? And it's like 5 o'clock or something, you know, ridiculous. Give me just a few more minutes here, a few more minutes before show and tell. Someone's asking, what is the black thing an umbrella? I don't understand what you're in the image. I don't understand. I'm sorry. Show and tell. Give me a few. Give me one more little carving session here, and then up we come. Up we come. Black umbrella. What are they talking about? Black umbrella. Okay, can I? Shall we do this? Shall we do this? Shall we do this? Pictures coming along well. It's awfully slow going. I'm sorry. There's so many other things going on. Yesterday, instead of putting that stuff on the web, I should have carved all day. I guess it would have been a good idea. Can't be helped. You got to mix and match. Do this. Do this. Do a bit of that. Do a bit of that. Well, the black thing out on the sidewalk. I don't know what it is. No idea. I'm not going to run out there and. Okay. Now. Today's show and tell. Today's show and tell. The video about the Tokaido series went up It was a week ago, I guess, Sunday night. It's been 1 week and a few hours. The video went up last Sunday night. It's a video that had been cooking. It had been cooking for, a little jumping spider. Hi, hi, hi. Come and say hello to the people. Come and say hello. Come on, don't be shy. Oh, here we There's a little jumping spider lives near here. Here he is. Come on, come on, come on. There he is. Oop, 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 oop. Come on. I'm not going to hurt you. Just... Okay, okay. Panic, 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 panic. Sorry about that. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Squirrel, squirrel. Whatever. The video went up Sunday night, and it had been in preparation for like 4 months. I don't mean it took me 4 months to make it. I mean, whatever. What's the next video going to be? It was about Tokaido. I made a few notes, did this, made a few notes, did this, made a few notes. Postpone. So a lot of stuff got left out because there was just too much content. And anyway, it went up last Sunday night. And it was in the stream on Monday morning, the next morning. Some people had seen the video. And in that video, I showed some large prints, some medium prints, some small prints, some sets, some this and that. And a bunch of people asked, Dave, why don't you sell sets of prints like this? Why don't you sell Tokaido sets? It was in the stream on Monday. Somebody was asking, whatever. And it's not really practical for us. A big set of prints like that, we ourselves have to pay $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $900 for them, depending on condition and whatever. Some of them are foxed, they're not good. It's just, and who out there wants to pay $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for a set of Tokaido prints? They don't. So we've left that part of the business alone. But anyway, the thing came in Monday morning off the stream. So I just, out of fun, I went to just Google, not the wholesaler dealer auctions, just the Google auction. I typed in Tokaido print set in Japanese, and bing, 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 bing. A bunch of stuff came up. No, too expensive. No, broken book. And then, oh, look at this. And this little item came up on an auction there Monday morning. It was a set of Tokaido prints, postcard prints. And I looked at it and thought, that looks nice. It was going for 8,000 yen. Nobody had bid on it. The pictures were really not very good. A day went by, I thought, do I need another set of these? Because we've already got like a lot of Tokaido prints, or do I need to get another set of Tokaido prints? It went away, and it went away, it went away, it went on. Nobody bid on it. So at the last minute before it closed, I thought, whatever, let's do this. It was 8,000 yen. So I bid for it and got it, and it came in. And it turns out that it's a Tokaido set. It's not this big, actually. The prints themselves are postcard-sized prints. And it was issued sometime, it must have been in the early post-war period. There's some wonderful little tiny delicate carving explaining blah, blah, blah. It's the usual stuff, the names, and they have an English thing. So it must have been, this was in an era when the tourists were here, or the GIs, whatever, were still here. So there was some aimed at incomers. The carving is nothing to write home about. The printing is nothing to write home about. This series, it's nice. It's as good, nicely made as the one I showed you with the flip book, the accordion flip book. It's okay. And I'm showing it to you now. This isn't today's show and tell. That's in reserve here in a few minutes. I'm showing it to you now just to show you what kind of stuff is available. Now, we ourselves can't really sell these. I spent $80 on buying this. But what would it have to sell for? We'd have to curate it and make sure it's all okay. Out of the ones I buy, some of them have missing pages. They have foxing, whatever. What would it sell for? I don't know. We're going to keep this for our own collection, but just they're not practical for us to buy and sell as an ongoing item. They fixed the stone, they made it yellow. Anyway, it's a nice little set, it'll go in the collection, but it's not what I wanted to show you. There were two things that came up on the result. There was this one, which looks nice, looks beautiful, all nicely bound. There was another one there, which was this one. And it's an accordion style. It's broken. There's bits of paper hanging in and hanging out. Is it a complete set? We didn't know. The guy said it's all there. I don't really know if it's all there, whatever. And it said Meiji 39. which is 1906. And he had 2 or 3 images of prints that were included there. And when I saw those, I went, oh boy. Because this is the real deal. Forget the album here. This is just some photo album that somebody put these things in later on. The prints themselves, this is 1906. 1906. And I've seen carving and I've seen printing, and I have never seen carving and printing like this. It is just beyond belief. We've seen delicate prints, we've got delicate blocks here, but this one. And this is carved. This is not something that's done by photomechanical process. This actually is carved. Oops, that's as close as we're going to be able to go, I guess, there. It's a full Tokaido set, 55 prints. And yeah, there's an insane, astonishing difference of the quality between these two. It's just whatever. Let's find a nice one here. Well, here, maybe the one I did show the close-up picture of. There's the one we just saw a minute ago. It cost me $80 for this set of prints. We have people here. They're sort of in the shape of people. And then we have this one. And it is just whatever. There's just nothing. The difference is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. 1906. And this would have been made for domestic consumption. This has nothing to do with foreigners. There's no English explanation in this. It's made for domestic consumption. And there's a blurb at the beginning. We've put it on the website here. There's a blurb at the beginning that explains how if you buy the first 5, you can get a discount for the next 5. And then at the end, if you go all the way to number 50, you get the last 5 free. It's a real blah, 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 buy our stuff, buy our stuff. And then there's an explanation at the side that says, our prints are totally different from anybody else on the market. We use photograph to make our prints. And I'm like, what? No, what they're talking about is for their tracings, they use a photographic reproduction from the original. So their point was they were making is every dot, every line is the same as Hiroshike's designs. It hasn't been retraced and redrawn. And this is the level of carving and printing that was available still in 1906. I'm not sure what to do here. There's no point in me flipping through all 55, but the link, I shot these, I photographed these yesterday and put them all online. Actually, they're not all still Photoshopped. There's 6 or 7 or 8. I haven't quite finished the whole batch. But you can get in there. And if you're not on your iPhone, get on a desktop computer, draw it wide, and you've got stunning, stunning resolution on this thing. Let's flip through some of these because there's just so many things to point out. So many things that are nice. The bad news on these is the colors were printed with a beautiful, beautiful balance overall, the whole thing. But they have faded and decayed at different levels. And one specific color pigment is specifically the Prussian Blue. And here it is. This is Prussian Blue mixed with carbon, mixed with black. And that one stays stronger than all the rest. The yellows and reds and other things and greens, they fade a bit, but the blue stays strongly. So this wouldn't have been such a contrast when this print was first made. That's my finger. Look at the size of this. The people have a facial expression. This guy's looking up. There's his pipe. You can see the conversation. And look at my finger. And this is all carved the same way as you saw me carving just a few minutes ago here. The link failed for you. I think it's working. I think it's working. It's the normal link. Did you get it to wrap around? This guy, I'm not quite sure what he's doing. This guy's sitting here. He looks like he's got his hand inside his pants. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm just adjusting himself or whatever. I don't know. So what I'm thinking I might do is I might make an addendum. I might make a part 2 for that video to show this. And you're asking questions I can't answer. The guy's carving, like clearly they didn't use a Meiji microscope. They had good glasses, and I've seen an old photograph, Ogura-san, he died in 1959 or something. He sometimes used a double glass. He had a pair of glasses on. We can see video, and it looks like this. He's got a pair of glasses, and then he sits down and he puts another pair of glasses on top like this. So he's got 2 pairs of glasses, and I don't know, there's some kind of magnifier. Now we see this thing where people flip a magnifier down. And there's video of the guy with these little Japanese dinky round glasses with 2 pairs stuck on his face. So yeah, they were using glasses, they were using lenses, whatever they were doing. This one too, large Oban-sized prints of this, you can't read the signs. On this one, you can read the signs. It's just beyond belief, the resolution of this. And not just the resolution, I keep coming back to how small it is. It's the tone and texture and every line. The lines you saw me trying to carve 5 minutes ago, I was trying to get a sweep and a nice curve. Every freaking line on these prints has that sweep and curve. And there are 55 prints in this set. The guy who sold it knew what he had. This was no little bargain. I said I paid $80 for the junk copy here. This was $380. It was 38,000 yen. And I didn't hesitate. This is a lifetime chance. An absolute lifetime chance. Again, look at this. It's spoiled now. The blue has remained too strong while the other ones have faded a bit. As an experiment, you could take this, bring it in Photoshop, pull out the blue, increase the saturation in the rest of it, and then you'd get a better chance to look like what the original was. Remember, this was white paper. The paper you see at the edge here was originally white paper. So this is 1906. This is 114 years old. And the paper has toned over 114 years. Someone's saying, does the detail reduce the print volume? This is interesting. There's an interesting thing here, which these guys have handled very, 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 very well. If you take a black and white drawing, let's just take that drawing, for example, here. Let me scan that. This is the drawing we're using for the March print in this year's series. There it is. The line thicknesses are what they are. Now, if you take this and shrink it down to 1/3 size, it doesn't work because the line thicknesses will be too thick and there will be too much black and not enough white. You have to adjust your line thicknesses according to the scale. And these guys have done this. If you look at this side by side with a larger original, they've, I don't know how to describe, they incrementally adjusted the line thickness, so the overall tone. And Photoshop will do this for you. You can adjust the black density so that when you shrink things smaller, it ends up being all black instead of no white left. And Photoshop will adjust that line density lower. And these guys have done this. So except for that thing about the blue that I mentioned, the overall tonal density is equivalent to the full-size print. "55 prints. This is just a lifetime treasure for me, an absolute treasure. It's a happy thing for me to have and to study, and it's a frustrating thing for me to have and study. I will never, ever, ever be able to do this, ever. So am I frustrated by seeing these? Yeah, of course I'm frustrated by doing these. Am I proud of the work we are doing? Yeah, both things are true. They don't have to be both, things are what they are. Remember the carvers who did this? We've talked about this before. They were just carvers. The guy who carved every one of these, he worked morning till night, not so many holidays, started when he was very young. He didn't do streaming, didn't do Photoshop, didn't do anything else. Had lunch, went home, and carved. So it's okay. I keep trying to convince myself it's okay. We saw this in the video, right? This is the piggyback. Guys getting piggybacked across the river. People on the ladders. This is sort of in one view here. You can see all the different ways to get across that river. These guys are deadheading. They've caught people back off. They're coming back in. This is Odawara, and the mountains in the background are the mountains of Hakone. Here's the Hakone, and these guys, they left the paper white. It doesn't look like white right there where my finger is, but actually it's white if we compare over here. It's the paper color. 116 years will do that for you, but they've left the white space white and didn't fix it. And it's funny too, because the Mount Fuji, wherever it is, I can't quite find it. There it is, it's white. But the paper tone itself now has gone so toned that you can't see Mount Fuji anymore. It's there, it's somewhere about right there, the triangle. So these things are dying, you know. They're dying bit by bit. They're 114 years old now, and I don't know how much life they have left in them. Oh, something I should mention, I should show. Etone, back here, where was it? Number... So. They publish these as postcards, and they're actually glued on. These are Japanese postcards. Well, there's the same thing I mentioned, the Universal Postal Union. So they intended these to be thrown in the mailboxes? I don't know. And you can see here, I can do this without damaging this. The print itself is printed on a super thin washi paper, and then it's glued at the ends, sprayed and glued at the ends to the backing sheet. And I would love to take these off, but I'm not going to try it. They're just too delicate. That paper now is just too delicate, 106 years old. So I am going to just leave them as they are. Glued onto backing boards. So it's an absolute treasure for me, an absolute treasure. And we're sharing it. As I said, they were photographed yesterday. These are now online in huge resolution, so you can flip through them yourself on our website. And once we get our museum, of course, our exhibition space museum up and running next year, these will be featured, of course. Prints like this will be featured in our museum. Here we are. Let's finish with this one. Oh, also, too, before I close off here, I really will make part 2 of this video because there's this new print set to show, but there's also bunches more stuff I learned over this week. And I mentioned in that last video that there's doubt about whether Hiroshige actually walked all the way down the road or not, and I used the Kambara print as being whatever. There's lots more evidence that he never got anywhere near the end of this. There's a couple of books that have been published about this. People have done lots of research. For example, the final print, Kyoto, his print set was published in 1832-33. It turns out that Sanjo Hashi Bridge in Kyoto was renovated in 1810. And instead of wooden pilings, they changed it to stone pilings. So the Sanjo Bridge was 1813 or so. 1812 or 1813 was replaced with a new bridge with stone pilings. Hiroshige's design shows the wooden pilings. He never got to Kyoto. He was just using some other tourist picture. So absolutely, the researchers now are digging picture by picture by picture by picture, and they found anachronisms in his print set. So clearly he never went all the way down, and they're now trying to figure out where did he go, how far did he go, and how much is true and how much is just made up. Does it matter? I don't know. I myself don't have time to play with those games, but it's really good fun. And seeing that one, that just nails it to me. There's no copyright on this. No, the pictures we're putting up on our own website too. If you want to use them, use them. We don't care. This is a print that was made 114 years ago. I've spent some time and effort putting it on the website, but I don't own this damn thing. The idea is to spread these out as much as we possibly can. So we're not going to do that museum thing of don't you dare touch our images on our website. We don't play that game. Ross Walker, he's my friend down in Kyoto. He's put a bunch of images on his website, and they're watermarked with a secret watermark. So if you steal it, he'll be able to tell that you've stolen his stuff. He's got JavaScript in the web pages so you can't drag and drop the images. Just give me a break. These are public domain images from 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. Go for it. Go for it. Put it on a t-shirt and sell it. Okay, anyway, there we go. It's, oh, I got to run overtime a little bit. There's 55 prints. We can't show them all. They're on the website. They're on the website. They're on the website. Okay, it's Monday morning. I'll be off now for 3 days. I'll be doing other work. I'll be back here Japan time, Thursday morning, same time, same station. And you know what I'll be doing? I'll be carving more of those leaves and flowers and birds and whatever. In the meantime, get over to the collection page. There's new prints coming all the time. The Favorite Flowers book is coming online this week. You know the one? The Favorite Flowers, all the beautiful Japanese flowers? It'll be online in a couple of days. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.